Radio legend Steve Hegwood is the President and Chief Executive Officer of Core Communicators Broadcasting and Core Radio Group. Born and raised in Milwaukee, Steve started his radio career as an intern and later became program director at WNOV. 2 years later, Steve joined forces with former Green Bay Packer and Hall of Famer Willie Davis at All Pro Broadcasting's WLUM. Major market programming stops led Steve to Houston and Detroit, and in 1995, Steve was named Vice President of Programming at Radio One, now Urban One in Washington, D.C. He successfully directed the important properties in the Radio One portfolio, including KKBT here in Los Angeles, where he's credited with securing Steve Harvey for his debut morning radio show. Becoming a station owner and operator was one of Steve's ultimate goals. In 2003, he served as President and Chief Executive Officer of On Top Communications, operating 4 stations in New Orleans, Norfolk, Jackson, Mississippi, and Albany, Georgia. Financial challenges in the early 2000s eventually saw those stations sold, and Steve moved back to Los Angeles as program director for KDAY. Shortly thereafter, Steve returned to Radio One as PD of WKYS in Washington, D.C., and would soon become the operations manager at the Radio One cluster of Atlanta stations. Beginning in 2009, Trailblazer Hegwood was highly recognized for his use of FM translators to reach the African American listening audience. And he's been instrumental in installing translators to compete with full-power stations. A highlight of his career has been the recruitment and mentoring of more than 30 program directors and APDs across the country, giving them the opportunity to lead stations of their own. Recognized as one of the most influential African Americans in radio by Radio Inc. magazine, he's committed to teaching the next generation of radio professionals. Steve is also a mentor for Big Brothers Big Sisters and a staunch supporter of the AIDS Healthcare Foundation. Now blessed with a second chance himself, Steve Hegwood's companies own and operate 5 Streets FM and AM stations in Atlanta, Charlotte, Norfolk, and Albany, Georgia. The Living Legends Foundation is proud to salute Steve Hegwood with the Living Legends Jerry Boulding Radio Executive Award. Congratulations, Steve.